Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. The last time these two teams met, it was the New York Knicks who came away with the W against the Hornets.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, I mean, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. I mean, the crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
It'll be the Knicks off the tip. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of... Knicks trail by 4. After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33 and 49 just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
2 on the clock. Roten.
What are you doing?
Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. Go ahead to the line. It's going to be on Freak. Well, guys, what a nice surprise Tony Roten was last season, especially effective taking over at the point, Clark, with Michael Carter-Williams gone.
Yeah, Roten put up a career-high 5 assists per game and really worked hard at the defensive end as well. He's one of the few talents on the Sixers roster that hadn't been traded away.
Lee's checked in for Charlotte. Jeremy Lin comes in for Walker.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Now here's Afflalo. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against New Orleans.
And for Roten last season, he even took on more of a scorer's mentality. Went up in points, went down in field goal percentage. But like a boxer, he gets a little extra credit for pushing the action.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Thomas. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
And, you know, talking about Roten, I think the next step in his development is to produce at the same level, but with greater efficiency. Too often, his highlight reel passes led to turnovers. He would gamble defensively, too. That's, to me, just a young player growing up on the job.
Freak with it. He's covered by Roten. Some nice pass in here by Charlotte. He rifled that one in from distance.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
And... Uh, 101 left in the first quarter of the game. Picked by Williams. And here's Afflalo for 3. Again, Afflalo missing.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Lee kicks to Lin, knocks it loose, and a wide-open look for Freak. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a terrible shot. He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Feeds it to Afflalo. Pass to Roten. There's 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Thomas dishes to O'Quinn. And off the prior, and in it goes.
Just couldn't get a hand in the face on that one.
That's using what you got. He's got a height advantage, put it to good use there, and got himself a clean look.
A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. The Hornets on top. They're up by 3. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the...
Play free. Just play like you're playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
He may be having fun. And he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas comes in for Porzingis. And it's Williams in for Anthony. And then for Charlotte, Cody Zeller's checked in for Jefferson. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Marvin Williams. And Freak subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. On the court for Charlotte, Freak in at shooting guard. Zeller is out there with Michael Kid Gilchrist. And there's Kemba Walker. And it's Batum in at the small forward. Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play. So it'll be Tony Roten shooting. It goes on Cody Zeller. And some changes here for the Hornets. Lee comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Walker.
And it became clear, thinking about the Knicks again, I mean, it made sense for a team with injuries and being in disarray on the floor to just battle for that lottery.
Kid Gilchrist sets the pick for Lin. Shoots from 12. Kid Gilchrist, no luck. New York trailing. And here's Calderon. He's coming off a 10-point game against New Orleans.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
The Hornets have gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field.
Kind of packing it in for the sake of being better in the future can possibly work in New York for a year or 2, but not longer than that. The media will eat you up there if you don't start making some progress towards winning, pleasing basketball.
Picked by Williams. Now here's Roten, defended by Lin. Up top, Roten. 8 points for him. It's deflected. Now here's Lin. D right on him. The pass to Freak. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And both free throws good from Freak.
Another trip to the stripe for him, and I tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
Man, and it's really served them well, seeking out the contact you mentioned and putting pressure on the defense.
They grab their own miss.
And that's just great work there to get in the shooter's space and then go and corral that backboard.
Kid Gilchrist shoots the 3, and that's good. Jeremy Lin for 3. Lin's got 5.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
And so that's the end of the first half. Hornets lead by 7.
Hey, Kevin, I've got Jose, and what is...
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. What a game we're seeing from Kemba Walker. Williams, he's checked in for Lopez. Lance Thomas comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And Roten subbed in for Jose Calderon. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Cody Zeller's checked in for Jefferson. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Nicholas Batum. Jeremy Lin, he's checked in for Jeremy Lamb. And Freak subbed in for Kemba Walker. Derek Williams is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Lance Thomas. Then it's Anthony. And it's Roten in at the point. That's the 5 for New York right now. And the hope for Jeremy Lin last season was that he'd take a step forward in his development, but it almost was the opposite in his play.
And that can happen. You don't always go a straight line north in your improvement in this league. He's been on an upward swing as far as his shooting accuracy, but last season was the worst since his rookie year in that area.
And talking about Lin last season, he never quite gelled with what they were doing in Los Angeles. Both he and Kobe need the ball to be effective, and I got a feeling you guys know which one of those two is going to get it.
Time now for an injury report. And now we'll send it over to Doris Burke for an update on Aaron Aflalo. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, New York's head athletic trainer gave me an update. Not what we wanted to hear, guys. It sounds like it's a very serious injury. If he were to miss significant time, it would really hurt this team that depends on him for so many things. Guys, time will tell.
Thank you, Doris. Boy, you always hate to see anyone ever deal with any sort of injury.
And almost for every player, it's inevitable. I mean, injuries are going to happen no matter how well you take care of yourself.
And let's just hope the rehab process doesn't drag on any longer than it has to.
Williams, a screen on Anthony. Outside, Lin. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. And it's Freak missing.
And, you know, getting back to Lin, he was actually pretty strong starting out the season. In November, he made 48% of his shots, 37% from downtown. But in April, he only hit 24% from the field and was eventually shut down for the year.
There's a screen by Williams. Jumper off the screen. Again, the Hornets score.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Now here's Roten, guarded closely. Thomas, no good. For the New York Knicks, they come in off the loss to the Pelicans.
And it wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense, or bad if you don't execute them. Shooting is just a byproduct of not screening well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
Here's Freak. His three-pointers off the mark. With one on the clock, the shot is off. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome. Look for New York. Porzingis, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And Roten subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. The Hornets all